learners, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on process of planning. In our previous video, we have already seen what is planning, why is it important, and we have seen characteristics of planning. In this video, we will see process of planning. So let's start today's video. In process of planning, basically we have few steps which needs to follow whenever you make a plan. For example, first you have to set the objective. Second, you have to identify your resources because, of course, you have to use your resources to accomplish the target or objective you have set. Okay. Third point come developing premises. Fourth point is identifying alternative course of action. Next point we have evaluating those alternative. Then after that, selecting the best plan, and finally implementing those plan. And when you implement those plans, now it is important to monitor and control so that you can have a grip on your actions, whether they are going according to the plan or not. So let us see all these steps in detail so that we can understand the process of planning in a better way. Let's start with the first process. The first step in planning is to define clear, measurable, and achievable objective. These objectives provide a direction for the organization's effort and ensure that everyone is working toward the same goals. Objective can vary from short-term operations or to long-term strategic vision. Okay, so it totally depends. Either you are making a plan for a daily basis or for a long time. Second comes identifying resources. Once you have set your objective that this is what you wanted to accomplish, this is what you wanted to achieve, now you need to find out the resources. With certain resources, you are going to start the work. So here the second step is identify the resources. After seeing objective, it is important to identify the resources needed to achieve those goals, those objectives. Resources can include financial resources in the form of funds, human resources in the form of your employee, equipments in the form of machines, time, and technology. Understanding the availability and limitation of resources help in realistic planning. Now, after setting the goal and identifying the resources, we will go to next step, which is developing premises. Premises are assumption about the future environment in which the plan will be operated. These assumptions may include market condition, competition, government requirements, their rules, regulations, and other external factors. Accurate premises are crucial because they form the foundation upon which the entire plan is built. For example, maybe the place where your company is, maybe the government is very flexible, like very often the government changes, and we all know if a new government come, then again you have to make the payment to some other bodies. Okay, like there are so many internal beverages you give to the people to make your business work. So it is very important to work in such a place where the government is stable, where the government don't change so often. Okay, where you know about your competitors, where you know about the condition of your market. Okay, so it is very important to know about the premises or the things which is going to affect your functioning. Okay, which is going to affect your plan. That's why we say the third point is developing premises. Premises are assumptions about the future environment, like what things will affect our plan. We need to figure it out. Maybe the market condition, maybe the competitors, maybe the government regulations, and many more. After developing the premises, it is important to identify alternate course of action because to reach to a place there are multiple ways, but you can't adapt all the ways to reach to one goal. So it is very important first to know what sort of activities or what sort of plans you can undertake to reach to that goal, to accomplish those objectives. So here in this point, we will identify the alternative course of action through which we can achieve the objective. Once the objectives are set, all the premises are identified, next step is to explore various course of action that can be taken to achieve that goal. This step ensures that the organization doesn't just settle for one idea or the first idea they come up with. No, it focuses on all aspect and come up with all the alternate course of actions like through which they can reach that goal. Now, once you identify all alternative course of action, it is important to evaluate them. Okay, because once you evaluate them, then only you can identify the one which is best for you. So in evaluating alternative, we generally identify different potential alternatives. Each one must be evaluated in terms of feasibility, risk, cost, and benefits. This evaluating alternative will help in determining the most favorable course of action based on the current resources and condition. So now we identify different alternatives. Now we evaluated them. Now it is important to select the best plan. Okay, because you can't choose all the actions. You can't accomplish your goal with all the alternatives. No, you have to pick one, which you can do only by evaluating all the options, all the alternative. Now, once you have evaluated, it's important to pick the best out of among alternative. So in this stage, selecting the best plan, what we understand, based on the evaluation, the most suitable plan or course of action is selected. The chosen plan should align with the organization's objective. It should be achievable within the available resources and minimum risk within the minimum, you can say within your time frame. Okay, that's why selecting the best plan is important. Once we select the best plan, now it is important to implement that plan. Because unless you implement the plan, you won't achieve your goal. Okay, so the next step is implementing the plan. Once the plan is selected, it needs to be put into action. Implementing any plan involves allocating resources, assigning responsibility, and coordinating efforts across the organization. Effective communication and leadership are vital during this phase to ensure everyone understands their role and work according to the plan. Fine. And finally, the last step. Okay, in the last process, we have monitoring and controlling. What we understand with the monitoring and controlling? Once we set our objective, once we identify our resources, then we figure out the premises, then we identify the course of actions, all the alternative. Finally, after that, we evaluated the alternative, we selected the best out of it, now we implemented it, and finally, after implementation, it is important to monitor and control. Because after the plan is implemented, it is essential to monitor progress and compare actual performance with planned objective. This step helps in identifying any deviations and allow for corrective actions to be taken in case of any disturbance or any error. So what in this step we see, like once you started working on your actual plan, it is important to monitor and control. With this, what you understand? When you are monitoring and controlling the activities of your employee, you get to know about your plan, if it is going on exactly as you have planned or not, if people are working in the same manner or not, so that you can know if in that particular time frame you can achieve those objective or not. So yeah, this was all about today's video, where we have seen different stages involved in process of planning, where the first step is setting objective, second step is identifying resources, third is developing premises, identifying alternative course of action, evaluating those alternatives, selecting the best plan out of it, then finally implementing that plan, and finally last, monitoring and controlling. So yeah, these were all the processes. Make sure to write all the points in your answer whenever this question come in your exam. I hope this video was interesting, and if you have any other question in your mind, let me know in comment box so that I can come up with relevant video. Now with this, I will take leave from you guys. Have a nice day. Bye.